Good morning, students. Once again, I welcome you all to the online session of class 9 chemistry. Till now, we have discussed about the classification of element as metal, non-metal and metalloid. Now, we have to start with another topic, that is solution. We all have heard about many type of solution and we also have seen many type of solution. But actually, what do you mean by solution? So, here by giving one example, I will make you clear that what is solution. Like whenever we are putting some amount of solute into water, what we found, these sugars start dissolving into the water and after some time the particle of sugar disappears. Why does it disappears? So actually they dissolve and they dissociate into a very small or very fine particles and get mixed with the particles or molecules of water, and they mix with each other uniformly, which is called to be as solution. So solution, it is a combination of two things or more than two substance, but here the substance which we are going to add is called to be as solute, and the substance in which it is added is called to be as solvent. First, let us define solution. So solution, it is a homogeneous mixture of two or more than two chemically non-reacting substance whose composition can be varied within certain limits. So solution, mostly solutions are a homogeneous mixture because here whatever the two substance which we are using, they mix with each other completely, and on mixing with each other they form a solution. So here the two substance that we are going to add or the three substance that we are going to add, they are called to be as solute and solvent. So let us understand what do you mean by solute and solvent. Solute and solvent are what? Like if we are adding sugar into water, so here we have small amount of sugar, like 2 tablespoon of sugar we are using in 1 glass of water. So here the quantity of water is more as compared to the quantity of sugar. So the substance which are in lesser amount are called to be as solute, and the substance which are present in a larger amount are called to be as solvent, and the combination of these two are called to be as solution. Okay, but it is not necessary that always the solvent is in the liquid form. Sometimes the solvent may be in the gaseous form, sometimes the solvent may be in the solid form. That's why we can say that the substance which are in larger amount are called to be as solvent. Like here we can take example of air. We know that in air lots of gases are present. That's why air is taken as a solvent, and whatever the gases is added over the air is called to be a solute, because the number of gases which is added is in small amount, and the air which is formed by the combination of these are in larger amount. That's why air is taken as a solvent and the lesser amount of gas is taken as a solute. Again we can take example for the solid solution, like whenever we are making an ornament of gold, we know that gold, it is a soft metal. That's why when we preparing or whenever we are making any jewelries with gold, so this gold jewelry is very soft. That's why to give strength to the gold, here there is need to add something on that to give some strength to the ornament. That's why we are adding some amount of copper or silver to the gold. So the amount of copper and silver is less as compared to the gold. 23 carat of gold we are using, sometime we are using 22 carat of gold, and rest 3 carat, that is of copper or silver, whatever, or according to the need of the people, we are adding this amount of other metal into the gold. So here gold is taken or considered as the solvent because the ratio of gold is more as compared to the ratio of copper. So gold is taken as solvent and copper is taken as solute because the amount of solute is less as compared to the amount of solvent. So once again I am going to explain you students that the thing which are in lesser amount are called to be as solute, and the thing which are in larger amount are called to be as solvent, and the combination of solute plus solvent is called to be as solution. So, on the basis of the number of solute present into the solution is called to be as different type of solution, like binary solution, tertiary solution and quaternary solution. We know that it is not compulsory that a solution has only a combination of one solute and one solvent. It may be more number of solute, like if we are making a juice of lemon, here we have some drop of lemon, we have some tablespoon of sugar, salt, and as a solvent we have water. So in water we have three type of solute added. So the number of solute which is present into the solvent or which is added into the solvent, on the basis of this one we are classifying the solution into different type. If we have only a one type of solute and one type of solvent, then it is called to be as binary solution. If we have two solute present in a one solvent, it is called as tertiary solution. And if we have three solute present in one solvent, it is called to be as quaternary solution, and so on. So it means that here it depends on the number of solute present into the solvent. They all are going to make solution, but it depends on the number of solute. If we have one solute plus one solvent, it is binary because two substances are there. Binary means two, tertiary means three. In tertiary we have two solute plus one solvent. Okay, in quaternary we have three solute plus one solvent. So on the basis of number of solute present into the solvent, it is divided into binary, tertiary, quaternary and so on. These are the type of solution. After that we have diluted or concentrated solution. We also know that the amount of solvent which is present into the solute, if the amount of solvent is more as compared to the solvent, like if we are dissolving anything into the water, like if we have taken small amount of salt into the water, we have only 2 tablespoons of salt and 1 glass of water. So here the ratio of water is more and the ratio of salt is less. So here because of the more ratio of water, this is called to be as diluted solution of salt. Why? Because the ratio of water is more and the ratio of salt is less. But if the ratio of salt is more as compared to the ratio of water, then it is called to be as concentrated solution. Like we know that the milkman who came to our house, they used to add some amount of water into the some amount of water into the milk. So milk is not the purest form that we people are taking. Here it has some amount of water added on that milk. That's why the milk, if more amount of water is added into the milk, it is called to be as the diluted milk. If more amount of milk is there and less amount of water is there, then it is called to be as concentrated milk. So diluted means more amount of water and concentrated means more amount of the substance by which or to which we are making the solution. Okay, now here we have some of the characteristics properties of solution. Like solution, first we have to discuss about there are various type of solution. We have true solution also, we have suspension also, we have colloids also. But before going to the various type of solution, we have to see about see this one, aqueous and non-aqueous solution. Aqueous solution and non-aqueous solution, what are these? Aqueous solution means it is a type of solution. Aqua means water. We know solvent, it is in, we have water is called to be as universal solvent. Why? Because water has the tendency to dissolve almost all type of things which is present in the world. That's why water is called to be as universal solvent. So here the solution which is made up of water and the solute which is dissolved into the water is called to be as aqueous solution, in which the solute is any type of solute is dissolved in a solvent which is water. But there are many type of solution in which we are not using water as a solvent, we use something else other than water. This type of solution is called to be as non-aqueous solution. Like here you can take example of mm, like tincture of alcohol, we know, or you might have heard about this. Here you can take example of some other thing, like if we are dissolving sulfur into carbon sulfide, or if we are dissolving iodine into carbon tetrachloride. So these, or if we are dissolving any type of solute into benzene or ether, so here we are not using water as a solvent, we are using other thing than water. So this type of solution in which water is not there in the form of solvent is called to be as non-aqueous solution, but the solution in which we are using water as a solvent is called to be as aqueous solution. Okay, moving forward, we are classifying the solution into three types, that is true solution, suspension and colloids. So now we are going to discuss about the true solution. True solution is what? It is actually the homogeneous solution in which the solute and the solvent mix with each other completely. They mix with each other that much completely that we cannot see the particles of the solute, because here the size of the solute particle is very less. It is that much less. The size of this one is 10 to the power minus 9 meter. That is very small. That's why we cannot see the size or the particles of the solute. That's why it is called to be as the true solution, because here the combination or decomposition or mixing of this one can takes place very completely and very uniformly, that we cannot separate it by any physical mean. Okay, so these are called to be as true solution. Now here we have the characteristics of true solution. See, true solution, it is always homogeneous. Homogeneous means what? Where the mixture or the combination can be takes place very uniformly, that is called to be as homogeneous. Okay. Second characteristics, that the size of the particles in case of the true solution is very small, that is 10 to the power minus 9 meter or 1 nanometer, less than 1 nanometer. So here it is that much small that we cannot see with our naked eye, or even under the microscope also. In common microscope we cannot see the size of the particle. Third property, that the solute particle in the true solution easily pass through the filter paper and through any vegetable and animal membrane. That's why it cannot be separated by the process of filtration. Like when we pass this type of solution in which we have sugar or salt type of solute dissolve, or if we are passing this with a filter paper, it do not leave any residue. It easily pass through the filter paper. Like if we are passing tea through the filter paper, some amount of tea means whatever the liquid is present, this liquid easily go through the filter paper, but the tea, it is left as a residue. But in case of this type of true solution, whenever we are passing this solution through the filter paper, it can easily pass through the filter paper without leaving any residue, because here the size of the particle, solute particle, is very less. That's why it can easily pass through the filter paper. Okay. Fourth property, the particles of solute in the true solution do not settle on standing. That's why it is stable. It is stable type of solution. Means if we keep this type of solution for some time without touching, it do not separate by its own. Okay, it looks after 1 hour, after 2 hour, whatever the time you left it for, then also when you see it once again, it looks similar. It means it is a stable type of solution and it do not settle. Like sometime it does happens, whatever the things we have added, they simply settle down at the bottom, but here it do not happens. Okay, because here the size of the particle is very small and it mix with each other very completely. That's why it do not settle down after some time. So these are some characteristics of true solution, but here we have left with one more very important characteristics of true solution, that true solution do not split the light, or the light which is falls into the true solution, it do not split the light. That's why it do not shows Tyndall effect. First I will tell you what do you mean by Tyndall effect, then I will tell you how it splits the beam of light. Till now we have this much only, rest of the thing we will discuss in the next part. Thank you.